Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead. Today I have a homeschool haul for you. We homeschool our children. I have 5 children from 13 down to almost 3. And so my oldest 3 are in school full time. They are 5th grade, almost into 3rd grade, and 1st grade. And then this year, my 5-year-old, we are starting some kindergarten work with him. And we do school a little bit differently in that we school year round. So we don't take like a big long break in summer. Instead, we just go with the flow, and it allows us to take breaks as needed. So in total, it means that we have to do 15 days of school per month. And I just kind of break that down and just kind of keep track of it on a day-to-day basis and a month-to-month basis to make sure that we're staying on track. But in our state, we do not have to turn paperwork into anybody or keep a certain date that we have to be in it. So that is helpful. And then also, I start my kids in school whenever they are ready. So I have had one of my students started with kindergarten in 5th grade, or as 5-year-old, sorry. And then I had one that we didn't really start a whole lot of formal school until they were 7 because they just weren't ready for it. And then from there, we just go with the flow. When they're ready to move on to the next grade, we move on to the next grade. We use Christian Light Education, so that right there, for all of their core subjects. So reading, Bible, language arts, and math. We use other things for history and science, and I can show you those if you're interested. But Christian Light is an awesome, really inexpensive, but very, very solid curriculum. And part of the reason that I like it is that it is Amish and Mennonite based. It is actually produced for Mennonite schools, which you can tell by their dress, the teacher's head covering, that kind of thing. And so you do not have to worry about any questionable content in the materials that you get. You're never going to see anything that is not biblically based. And if you're concerned about it being Mennonite based, even their Bible curriculum, so far what we have used through 5th grade has no doctrinal issues on being more Anabaptist in nature. So we don't worry about that. It may come up in high school, and I know they have some materials that are that delve into their history, but as a whole, they just teach the Bible. They don't add anything or subtract anything from it. So I thought I would give you a look at what I picked up because, like I said, my second oldest is getting ready to go into 3rd grade. He has been my challenge student, let's call it that. He fought school and still does on a fairly regular basis. He does not enjoy reading at all, and it's tooth and nails to get him to read, but his reading has improved by leaps and bounds. I cannot recommend the Christian Light, their 1st grade reading program enough. I love it. I will use it for all future students because it has worked great. Even with it worked great with my oldest, who is a sponge and can pick up anything and loves reading and loves school. And it has worked with my second, who is a struggling reader, who had to work at it, it took us 2 full years to get through 1st grade because we took our time to make sure that foundation was really built. So I have no issue with taking a little bit more time on that. But so back to the starting my students whenever they're ready. Because of that, my kids aren't on a June to July or June to, May schedule or whatever, like the public schools are. We start whenever they are ready. So my 10-year-old is getting ready. He will, by the end of October, be moving into 3rd grade in October. My soon-to-be 6th grader will probably be done by the end of this year. Sorry, October, November. It's November, y'all. My 6th grader she'll be moving from 5th to 6th grade probably at the end of this year, beginning of next year. My 1st grader is about halfway through the 1st grade this year. And then kindergartner, we're going to start within the next probably month or so. So that shows you my kids are all over the place. But that is also nice because I'm not ordering everybody's curriculum all at once. Okay. So I ordered the 3rd grade materials for my soon-to-be 3rd grader. The only thing that you will not see here is the teacher's manuals and the readers that go with the reading program, because I already own all of those. I owned those from doing this with my oldest. So that does change it, but that is part of what makes this inexpensive for, especially if you have a lot of kids. So Christian Light, like I said, very inexpensive. It is workbook based and spiral method, not mastery method, which we really like. So you get, for each subject, you get 10 light units, is what these are called. So there's 10 for language arts, 10 for math, 10 for reading until 4th grade, and then they switch down to 5. And then there's 5 for Bible, because the way that we do it is we will read the story out of the teacher's manual the first day, and then the second day we read the story out of the kids' and then do the work with them. And as you can see, it's a fairly plain, not a lot of color, not a lot of doodles and those kind of things. It's pretty plain Jane, but it is so thorough in everything. They do sentence diagramming, and they learn math is extremely well-made, well-built program. If you go into using this from public school or homeschool setting, they do have placement tests, and I highly recommend taking them. And do not be concerned if your child was in 4th grade in public school and in math they test into 2nd grade. It's okay. This is very advanced. This is usually at least 1 year ahead in math, and a lot of times 1 year ahead in language arts. Okay. So don't be afraid of it. Just go with it. And then anytime that you hit a concept that they already know, skip it and it'll be okay. So each light unit is then set up where they have 4 lessons, a quiz, 4 lessons, a quiz, 4 lessons, and then in language arts and everything besides math, they have, so 4 lessons, a quiz, 4 lessons, a quiz, 4 lessons, a self-check, which is like a small quiz, and then they have creative writing, and then they take the light unit test, which goes over everything that they learned in that light unit and then some of the past, and then you're done with the workbook. So it takes 10 workbooks to get through the year. Usually, if you do 5 days of school a week, it will take you a month to get through 1 light unit, is kind of how that's set up, because that would be the 15 days a month to do school. So 10 months, that equals the 2-month break for summer. If you choose to do that, we choose not to. We just keep trucking right along. When they finish 1 grade, we move on to the next. So yeah, that kind of explains the general of how that works. The teacher's manuals are so well written out, tell you literally everything to say, give you example problems to use, example words if they're learning new sounds. They do it phonics based, and it's kind of a combination of doing phonics, and then they also do sight words as well. Trying to think if there's anything else to tell you about these. The Bible gets more complicated in 3rd grade. So I'm seeing, instead of like, usually it was like a 1-page read and then a little activity to go with it, but it gets a little bit more complicated in 3rd grade. So we're going to have fun with this. The other bonus to Christian Light Education is that by 4th grade, they are essentially self-taught. So what that means is that I don't have to actually sit down and do the lesson with them. They will open it up and they will have the lesson where they're learning the new concept. And then you have the We Remember. And this is all of the things that they have learned from the previous lessons. And so it's what we call homework. Obviously, when you homeschool, it's all homework, or independent work is what you could call it. And so like what I do is I will sit down and do the lesson with my third grader. We'll go through all of this together, and then I assign him his homework to do with when he's done. And excuse me, I will go through this, and if it's things that he knows, I will mark some of them off. So if it's things like, let me find something that I could give an example of. These, I would maybe X out like every other problem, so that he doesn't have to do them all because he knows them. If he knows his times 2 multiplication, I might X that out and tell him you don't have to do that because he knows them. The telling the clock, I might mark off. I'll look at these and pick out like which one's the hardest and have him do that one, and then the other ones I'll just mark off, and that way he can skip some of that work. They are meant for a classroom setting, so there is still some busy work in them, but not as bad as like some of the homework sheets that my nieces and nephews get sent home with from public school is pages of addition and subtraction problems, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't have an issue with marking off some things that they have mastered. Sorry, putting away a plate for a kid. Okay. So the other things that I purchased some extra things, Christian Light publications. So they have 2 branches. They have Christian Light Education, and then they have Christian Light Publications. The education is the homeschool and school materials. They also have books, homemaking type things, cookbooks, music CDs, audiobooks, chapter books, kids books, activity books, coloring books, all kinds of different things. Love this place. I could spend so much money here. So a couple of the things that I picked up extra, I have picked up this planner. This will be the 3rd year. I love this daily planner for myself. It has a year at a glance, and you can kind of see things that you might want to remember, like birth dates, those kind of things. And then it has a month to month that you can see the whole month. And it starts in December of the previous year and then runs through, I think, all the way through January of the next year. Oh, nope, December of the next year, or of that year. Oh, look, this is new. It's got some fun coupons. Oh, that's fun. Okay. And then this is the main thing that I use, is the weekly planner. It has plenty of space for writing a checklist of all the things that you need to get done, the things that you want to get done through the week, and then the menu for the week. So you can write those in. It has a Bible verse for every week, so you can kind of challenge yourself to maybe memorize that or just read it on a daily basis and have that be kind of like your concentration for the week. And it changes every week. It does have holidays marked. I'm trying to think of when. Oh, there, like New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. It has other parts to it as well. Tasks, projects that you're wanting to get done. Info, this would be a good place for writing down addresses, those kind of things. It has these awesome, nifty little grocery shopping lists that are perforated so they rip out. And there are several of those. So those are handy as well. And then ledger pages. I mean, it's just got like a little bit of everything in there. My brain. And then this year they even added a magnet so that you can magnetize and mark it. And it says Edify on it, which I just think is great. It has a little folder pocket in the back. And then also, I forgot to show you on the weekly pages, it also has perforated edges there. So when you get done with a day or with a week, you can rip that off. And that way, when you close it, you can see where you are. So love this thing. And I think it is, okay, hang on. Let me go get the order slip so I can tell you exactly how much that is. Okay, so this is 17, and I've already forgotten. Ha, mom brain. $17.50 for a 1-year planner. I really don't think you can beat that for as good a quality it is. Beautiful. It is spiritually uplifting with these verses, and this is my brain on paper. If I don't write it down, it's probably not getting done. So I know a lot of people have switched to digital, but this is something that I leave sitting out on my kitchen counter all year long, all the time, daily. Let me see. I'm trying to think if there's anything written on here that is... Nope. See, it sits out all the time. And this is what I do, is I make little check marks next to the thing. Don't judge me. I didn't get a whole lot done that day. But I can plan things out far in advance this way, and I can see it at a glance. And then also my kids can look at this and look at, oh, I'll write the menu on it, and they can see, oh, this is what we're having for dinner tonight, those kind of things. So I cannot recommend that enough. I also pick up, they have homeschool report cards, and it flows with their workbooks and has it set up for the workbooks, that kind of thing. I picked up these this year to help my 5th grader stay on track, so I can fill in the work that she needs to get done, and then she can make a check mark to say that she's gotten it done. And there are 50 of these, and they are front and back. So you get quite a few, and that was, I think, just a couple dollars, like $3 maybe. This is a chart that goes with the 3rd and 4th grade language arts, and it's just a super helpful back and front, laminated, very sturdy, kind of helps them break down how to do all of these things. They also have one for math that is for, thank you. Go. Sorry, toddler interrupt us. I asked my 3rd grader if he wants to do this. He so far has beautiful penmanship for a boy. And I know that's, that may ruffle some feathers there, but traditionally boys sometimes don't have as good a penmanship as girls do. And he actually enjoys doing penmanship. And so I picked this up, and I'm loving the way that it looks. It has practicing just the different swoops and shapes and those kind of things. And then it has them, you saw it there, like copying whole things, like whole little phrases or those kind of things, and really just I'm liking the way that this looks. I will probably go ahead and order this for my up-and-coming 6th grader because she has beautiful handwriting as well, and we just want to keep that going. This is the 1st grade that they do it. All the previous grades, there's plenty enough in the language arts, but they kind of slowed down on that in 3rd and 4th grade, and so we picked that up. So let me readjust some things, because this time, instead of just ordering for 1 kiddo, I got to order for 2. So my 5-year-old is stupendously excited to get to start kindergarten this year. And I love their kindergarten workbooks because they are simple and laid back and not overwhelming, because I don't want to overwhelm my kindergartner. Kindergarten is supposed to be fun. I had so much fun in kindergarten, so I want my kindergartner to have fun. So the way that they have kindergarten set up is they have kindergarten 1 and then they have kindergarten 2, but then they also have this separate set, and you can do this, or you can do a combination of the two. So here's the thing. I love these because they are so sturdy. They are so simple, but so high education. They teach so many things. And so I want these. But then, y'all, I love these. These are so much fun. This is called the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it goes all the way through I. Yes. These are actually produced by Rod and Staff. So that's the other place that you can buy these from, and you will recognize them from that if you have used Rod and Staff, or I think you can buy them through Rainbow Resource Homeschool as well. I just choose to buy it through Christian Light because I'm buying everything anyway. So the kindergarten consists of kindergarten 1, which is very, very simple things. It's cutting, it's drawing lines and circles. It's not a whole lot of writing. It is coloring pictures, cutting, like I said, it's really simple, getting the idea of which one is bigger, which one is smaller, which one is in the country, which one is not, really working with numbers, those kind of things. It's super simple, okay? The kindergarten 2 starts going into learning your letters, learning your numbers, writing those, and they do not expect mastery at this, okay? So this is great if you have never done anything else with your kids. This is just for fun. They start learning, like, they have cute little rhymes, Debbie duck, sun so bright, shines all day to give us light, I think is which that one is. So they've got cute little rhymes, and it's just gently introducing them to this. It's not expecting them to know everything, and in fact, the kindergarten or the first grade material, Mennonites generally do not send their kids to kindergarten. Amish and Mennonite, they don't start until first grade. So they go into first grade assuming that they have learned nothing. So these are super gentle still, but so much fun. I remember partway into this, they read their first word. And I'm going to get all teary because I remember each one of my kids learning their first word. And it was, I think, fat and pig are the first words that they learn, which they just think is hilarious. And so, getting to sit and see them sound out their first word is just so exciting. So super gentle, but very thorough and fun, simple. It is open and go. These do have a teacher's manual. Now, the ABCD series does not have a teacher's manual because all of the instructions are at the bottom of the page. Okay, sorry, down there. These are simple as well. Each one of them comes with a theme, okay? So it starts off super simple with adventures with books. It is colors, it's cutting. They get to do these fun, like, craft activities, tracing, learning right hand and left hand. Super simple, okay? Once again, we're not trying to overwhelm the kiddos. We're trying to go slow. Then this one is actually just Bible stories and a picture that goes with each Bible story. So that is a fun one to do. We just kind of do those whenever we need to blow an extra 10 minutes. Counting with numbers, do it carefully, is a little bit more, you're starting to learn the letters, those kind of things. Everywhere we go. Once again, we're working on counting. I think by the end of this one, you're working on counting to 100. Lots of little art projects, lots of little crafts. And then finding answers is the last of these, this kind. This one is a favorite because every last page has a cut and paste. And I mean, what kid doesn't love that? So then you start into the last 3 they have themes to them. And they are each a different growing zone, I guess is what we will call it. I swear there's more. Hang on. I was right, there are more. I missed, looks like ordering 3 of these. So that's okay because by the time we're to this, I will have the other ones. I do have them, they're just already finished. Anyway, so these each have a theme that go with them that are a different area of the world. So this is all about the polar areas, and you will learn about all these different animals, about the science of where they live, about the weather, all different kinds of things, and they each come with like fun games and activities once again. So there's going on eagerly about the Arctic. There is hearing and helping, and this one is about jungle and tropical. Inside and outside is more of like Central America's, like our Central United States' weather, forest, prairies, those kind of things. So then this is an old one you can see. So just thinking and choosing is about mountainous regions. There's a K, and I don't remember. Oh, K is keep doing it carefully, but I don't remember what it is about. And then L is about oceans and about sea animals, those kind of things. So you can see these are done. And what I do is whenever we have ones that are finished, that my kids have finished, I put them in a tub and let the little kids scribble and color and do whatever they want to with them. So I'm going to toss those back down there. So yeah, these are so fun, and they get science mixed into that and all of that. So once again, I can't, we lucked out. We used one other curriculum before I found Christian Light Education that did not work out for us. And that was the only other curriculum that we ever tried, because once we hit Christian Light Education, I'm like, I'm done. This is great. I love this. It has worked for my kids. I've got, like I said, 3 that it has used the first grade, and then all the way up through 5th grade. And I love it. I have no issue with it. So, all right. So I know everybody's going to want to know what I spent on this. So keep in mind that I did not have to buy teacher's manuals and readers. So that would add to the price, and you can't do it without the teacher's manual. Don't try. You do need it. It is helpful. So in total for 2 students for full year, I spent $272. That included this for another student and that for me. Okay. So you could probably take off another, $20, okay? So per student, that is $125, okay? So tell me, that is one thing that we get, is that, well, public school is free, okay? But it's not, because you have to buy backpacks. You have to buy clothes. You have to buy gas to get your kids to and from school if you have to take them. You have to buy lunches if you don't get free or reduced lunches. All of that goes into that cost. Usually, depending on whether you get free and reduced on tuition and books and those kind of things, you have to pay for some of that. So if I had bought the teacher's manuals, I would say each grade, first grade's a little bit more expensive because you have to buy flashcards and some extra stuff, and there's more workbooks because it's meant to take about 1.5 years. But every grade after that, to buy the light units for these 4 subjects and the teacher's manuals is probably under $200 per year for each student. Max of $300 if you're looking at some of the upper grades that need a little bit more, or like the first grade, like I said. But then keeping in mind, if you have 2nd student, 3rd student, 4th student, 5th student like I do, that's going to go through these materials, you still have the teacher's manual and these charts that I don't buy again, the flashcards that I don't buy again, the readers that you don't buy again, that kind of thing. So keep that in mind, that plays into that cost on dropping that cost down as well. So, but for $150 per year, for a full year of the curriculum, you can't beat that. For $200, for $300, you can't beat that. Considering there are some that are $1,000 or more per student per year, and it doesn't even cover everything. So, we do history and science together as a family. So that is all rolled into one for everybody. So that keeps that cost down as well. But for very wholesome, very clean, very well made, their whole system is amazing. It is still small business run, essentially. I have in the past ordered something and accidentally ordered 2 of all of these, and they emailed me or called me and said, hey, did you mean to do this? Because maybe you have twins and you ordered one for each of them. But they have caught before where I've ordered something and they went, I don't think she probably meant to do that. And caught it for me and asked me about it. They're super great. They're super great about returns, about questions. You can call them anytime that you want to and ask them questions. Literally, you can call and say, hey, I'm on workbook 305 of math, and we're on this page and we don't understand this concept, and they'll walk you through it. Plus there's Facebook groups for each of the grades and then for like the whole curriculum as a whole. And you can also, they have a buy sell trade group on Facebook as well. So if you want to buy secondhand, you can. So yeah, I have no qualms about spending that on school, because I know for sure that you would probably spend that much on clothes and book bag alone. Whereas my kids get to do school in footy pajamas and and they get to just wear whatever they. I have had kids do school in nothing but a pair of underwear. I've had kids wrapped up in a blanket. It's one of those where we make it work. So I know this is completely different from what I normally do, and this is a long video, so if you've hung in there, thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel because you're here just as wanting to see a flip through of Christian Light Education, welcome. I hope you stay. If you like things like grocery hauls, food pantry hauls, what we eat for dinner, those kind of things, homesteading, then welcome. And if you're one of my regulars that is looking at homeschooling or has never considered it and is now going, maybe, given some of the crazy things that have happened over the last couple of years, more and more are choosing to do it. So if you are, I highly recommend Christian Light Education as a great starting place. The other nice thing is that you can order the teacher's manual and just a couple of workbooks. If that's all your budget affords at a time, you can literally just buy 3 months worth at a time of each subject. Or you can buy the teacher's manual and one workbook, and you can try it. And if you don't like it, you turn around and sell the teacher's manual on Facebook or eBay or whatever, and all you're out is that one light unit. And if you didn't like it, you haven't bought an entire curriculum that then you can't use. Which I have done and is no fun. So yeah, that is everything. I'm so excited to go put this on the shelf because we're, like I said, maybe a month away from delving into 3rd grade, and he is so excited about moving on to the next grade. They always are. And it's even just finishing one workbook is always so exciting, because when we're done, we put a big black X on it so that we know that it's used, so that when it goes into the little kids pile and they're writing on it, then it's not that big of a deal. I keep the tests and quizzes are pull out. Reading was a bad example because they're in the middle. You pull those out and I keep those, and that's all I have to keep for my records. I don't even have to keep that in my state, but I choose to. And then the rest of the workbook we use as backyard fuel, fire fuel. So I usually keep the whole workbook for about a year so that they can reference back to things if they need to. But then after that year, they go into a box and we use them to burn in our backyard. They work great for like starting fires in your fireplace, that kind of thing. So, all right. I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.